Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my entry into today's FIRSTS hop, which celebrates my 1,000 subbies milestone. And yes, many of you will say, but that was months ago, and it was in February, and I was notified just a few days before my husband passed away, and so celebrating was not in the cards for that particular time. And I actually picked this day, May 8th, to celebrate because it's a day we've celebrated thousands of times since 1981. It's the anniversary of our very first date. And I have a photo. This isn't a photo taken on that day, but it was taken just about maybe a couple weeks later. But that's kind of what we looked like back when we were young and cute and 34. So I took the same photo. It's from a portrait that we had done, one of those free portraits offered by a department store. And I'm not quite sure. I think this was before we'd set the wedding date. All of it happened kind of in a 3-month period. But we had James with us, and we needed some portraits of James for something, for some reason. He was, 6 at the time. Maybe he had just turned 7. Anyway, whatever it was taken for, I don't have a picture of the actual night of May 8th, 1981, but this is close enough. And I've scrapped this photo a million times, so I edited it a few times, a few different ways to emphasize things. The frizzy hair kind of shows better in this one, and his, I don't know, each of us looks different in these 3 edits. But anyway, I love that photo, even though it's a posed portrait. I think it kind of captures, I don't know, what would you say, young love, right? So I want this page. Well, okay. Everyone is because the theme is the first, and this was our first 8th, our first date, and I'm scrapping about that myself. Everyone's going to scrap about their first child, their first date, their first artichoke, their first whatever. And they're going to scrap lift me. And I'm not quite sure if everyone will embrace the chaos that occurs on most of my layouts. But I'm actually choosing one of my more minimalist. It's one I did just recently, it was last weekend, when I had some fussy cuts and some scraps of Vicki Boutin's color study on my table already from previous layouts. And I scrapped this photo of us before we could buy masks, and I'd made masks out of Visa Tui napkins. And those of you who know Visa Tui, and I got some notes from several of you that you do. Anyway, I'm going to do this, and it's very similar to this sketch by Lisa Sikorsky that she is part of the design team for Dottie About Flair, and Scrappy Kathy is too. And this was this week's layout, this week's sketch for us to play with. And Natalie Nelson did this gorgeous layout live in the Dottie About Flair Facebook page last night. So I loved the idea that she took her vertical column, kind of like I have this horizontal column, and just filled it with layers and layers of embellishments. So that's kind of, that this makes my heart sing right here. And so, and you know, so do Natalie and Ty. They're, you know, incredible. And so I'm going to turn this on its side, I think. I'm not sure because my photos are, yeah, I could do that and then do something. Let's just see. But in the spirit of the chaos that lives on my layouts, I have chosen some, a selection of crazy papers. Of course, there has to be lime green, and this lime green diagonal stripe is absolutely the most gorgeous color and texture, and I don't know, I just love this paper. I love it only slightly less than the black that is in this collection. And the black has little splotches of mixed media around on it. But this is gorgeous, and I wanted to use it. When you cut it up and use it, it's gorgeous, and it provides wonderful accents to maybe less chaotic pages. But you're always worried about, am I going to get that cool part in, you know? And there are cool parts all over, especially on the edges. So I wanted to use this as my background. And, and yes, my main other color is my favorite color, purple. And so I'm going to make my column purple. And it's going to be, I'm going to make it 4 inches wide because I'm going to have the photo kind of go across it and maybe take up some, I hate to do that. It's going to take up some of the real estate for my, you know, I'm going to go with 3 inches. And I'm going to cut it down to, see, I don't know where to cut on here. I'm going to cut it down to about, I don't know, I'll cut that much off of it. Let's just put it that way. And I'll have that there. And I have this branding strip that I'm going to let span the entire length of the page. And then I'm going to let this be my bit on each side of the photo strip. So I'm actually going to, I thought this was a good way to bring in all the colors. So as you can see, I'm using heavy use of Vicki Boutin Color Study, but I'm also, because I want to add all the things, all kinds of things that I love. I also want to use my other 2 favorite collections at the moment, which are let me get this in here right, which are Coco Vanilla Studios Sunkissed and Paige Evans Wonders. So I'm actually gonna mount this on, this is a part of the Coco Vanilla Sunkissed, and it's from the 6x8 stack. I'm gonna do this and let that kind of stick out, and that's gonna go maybe on top of that, and I'm gonna cut that down and out. And I also had a strip, here it is, of Wonders. And I'm gonna put this is a real, it's a great ombre grid. So I'm gonna start the fun part is gonna be cramming on all those embellishments. I've also got my Dottie About Flares here. My selection is the wonky hearts, the hearts with the the hand-drawn hearts on here. Absolutely love them, and I got all the colors. Saved the yellow for this layout because yellow was John's favorite color, and this kind of bright stop sign yellow was really his jam. The lime green and purple ones are for me. This orange was his in flowers and on my scrapbook pages, actually. He loved orange, so I did an orange grid. And he loved our kitty cats. We had a solid black one that was the size of a panther called Iggy. And Iggy, after the guy in Taxi, Jim Ignatowski. And Iggy has gone to cross the Rainbow Bridge many years ago. And then our most recent cat that we owned, we fostered a couple, but was Scout. And Scout was white with black markings, a tuxedo, but white with black. Iggy was solid black. So I just, this black and white kitty with the heart for the nose was just perfect as a kind of a symbol of John. And I'm using sequin mixes, penguin suit because John loved penguins. Guac it real good because our first date was at a Mexican restaurant, and I'm going to include an avocado and some of those greens with this lovely green paper. And then the Vicky's Rainbow mix that has the purple and the blue and the hot pink and even some real yellowy gold. It's the same color gold that's in the gold accents on the collection on those pieces that have that. And I have an acrylic piece from Bramble Fox that's a white bird in flight. And that's, I don't know, just seems, I don't know. I heard they played a song at my water aerobics class a few days ago. And it was like I was hearing it for the first time. It was Prince's When Doves Cry. And so that's what this makes me think of. And you can figure it out from there. And this You and Me piece, I don't know if this is Bramble Fox or somebody else. The backing is peeled off, and so I don't know if it's Redefined Creative or Bramble Fox or Color Cast. I have bought pieces from all three. So, and that one's just kind of lying out by itself, so I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm going to, sorry about that. I do not want this to be a downer kind of thing. It's a celebration of the really incredible life that we had together and the adventures and the sweetness. Okay, so I kind of do that just to make it a little bit longer. And then so it's going to kind of go like that before I start embellishing. And I have some ephemera here and some scraps from Color Study. And some beautiful paper flowers from Wonders. And I have, because a lot of what our life consisted of was tropical destinations, I need the palm tree from here, so I may use some other ephemera from Sunkissed. And I have some ephemera here from Wonders, and I have my eye on, actually, these purple flowers and these orange flowers, and I'm thinking of just kind of tucking them in somewhere and maybe layering them because, you know, purple flowers and orange flowers, that's kind of him and me. So for sure I'm going to use those, and I'll check the back to see if there's anything else I really need to use. I like these labels. I like the colors of them, especially that orange one. So I'll kind of leave that out along with these two things kind of poking out of there. And I have this, which I've opened, and there's nothing that says I need to use it other than I really love this Life is Good, and it the sharpness, the sharp edges are still there, but I'm embracing, hang on, before I go any farther, I just happened to, as I'm moving things around, I just noticed that I have my prizes that I'm giving away. I'm going to have in huge letters on my title, and I've asked all the others in the hop to remind their viewers to come over to my channel, and if you subscribe and leave a comment, or if you're already subscribed, go ahead and leave a comment on this video, the one that you're watching now. You'll qualify for one of these prizes, one of these fabulous prizes. I have this texture stamp. You've seen me use it many times. This is a wood grain, this is a brick, and this is a, I don't even know what you would call that, but it's Bo Bunny's wall-to-wall textures. And I apologize that I started to open this when I realized that I had another one, so I thought this would make a good giveaway. This is a circular texture stamp, and it's got these circles. I use these all the time, not this set, but I have another set like this, and they're incredible. I layer them up. I do them in different colors. I layer them kind of behind other circular elements. I just think they're wonderful. I have this set of Vicki Boutin's Storyteller stencils, and these are wonderful. Just the whole set's wonderful. I ended up with 2 sets, or there's no way I'd be giving those away. And this is the Bubbles stencil from Color Study, and it's got these, the pie chart kind of circles, and then just the little polka dots, and then the swirlies. And I used all 3 of these. I got a set in a class, and I had already bought a set, so you get my set. And this wonderful little package of goodies came from Adam, Scrappy Adam, as you know him, Adam Westwood, the new owner of Dottie About Flair. And he does a lot with Bramble Fox perspectives. So he included this set, and this says Everyday Moments. And these are a whole selection of different flares. I won't go through them all, but there are these little black and white ones, just very colorful ones. It's a wonderful prize pack, and I thank Adam very, very much for donating those to my viewers, and as you all know, I've been kind of waiting in the wings for a while, for months, waiting for Dottie About Flares to be able to ship overseas, and now Adam is shipping overseas, and I've gotten my first collections of them, from which these came. So let's get this party started. Okay, I'm going to, and I want to thank Natalie for her live last night, which inspired me. I want this more centered across there. I eyeball most things, but every once in a while something needs to be orderly in the midst of all the chaos. And I just kind of want to put this over to the side. I just thought this this branding strip would kind of bring out the blue stars that are on this purple field here, and I love that. I just can't even tell you how much I love all of these patterns and colors. Okay, what I'm going to use, was I going to use this maybe somewhere on here. I don't want to cover up that much of the purple. I'll do it this way. And then that gives me, it kind of extends the area that the embellishments are going to go on. So this is going to go, I kind of like this mixed media part right here, but you know, I cut it so that the white center kind of shows, and I want that to be black. So I'm gonna just ink that just so that you notice that black streak. Now, normally I'm not gonna be that picky, but today is a special day, and this is a special layout. Okay, I'm gonna, and look at that gorgeous navy blue on the other side. Let's see, I'm gonna put this so that that black contrast, you see it just, did I want to do that way? I'm actually gonna hide that under there. And let me make sure I get that parallel. Okay, there. And then this is going to hide under here. And I have to get it even there to there. That looks like it's pretty even. By the time I get the embellishments on, you won't notice. Okay, and this gives me all this real estate for embellishments plus over here. And because I may be tucking some things under here, I'm going to cut a foam strip and kind of lift it up. And I've also lifted up the photo strip from this background. Okay, now let's get this started. For sure, I want to fit my title on. So it's going to be called, right up here, I'm going to put the words our first, and then down here, 8th. We'll see how that works. Let's do that now. And I'm going to just stick them down now. Let me look at the colors that I have. The only U I have is this blue and teal, so I'm good with putting that next to this. Well, let me do a green, and then I'll do that. Okay, so then I'll have some yellow in this R. And then I'm going to use this 1 and a hot pink S and a teal and green. And I'm going to raise the S and the T up. Our first, and then my 8 is in John's colors. But I want to have it down far enough that I can raise the T and the H. Okay, so I have a purple T and a green H. Perfect. See, John's 8 is his 2 colors, yellow and orange, and the T and the H are my 2 colors, purple and green. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put the alphas away because there's something I'm actually finished with. I'm going to I need something here because when I cut this photo on the page, there was another photo right there, and I'm just now noticing that. So what do I want there? Let's do, I think I saw a sticker here. Let's see. Love this life, a new day. Here's the whole story. Is that... That's not do your thing. It's all good. Sense of humor required. That's a good one, because even now it's always good advice, but especially right now, you can't lose your sense of humor. So I want to do that. And if this loosens, I will glue it down. And it's chipboard, so I probably will be gluing it down, but I'm gonna, right now, not worry about it. And I'm gonna put this guy kind of out in the field, and not part of the mass of embellishments that are gonna go over here. Again, thank you, Lisa, for your sketch, and Natalie for your inspiration. And apologies for where I'm likely to take this. Okay, now I'm going to take those, let me see. I just want part of this kind of sticking out there. So let me get my scissors. I had scissors out here. Okay, that leaves me another side. I like this to be a foundation, and I like that it's a darker orange against this kind of ombre orange. And I'm gonna have just a little bit of this kind of, and I'm gonna keep the hello, but I won't use it here. I'm gonna put a little bit of foam here, and then these, I want them layered, I think. Let me just, I'll take the whole thing, then I have my choice, and then I can use this vase with some other flowers that don't have a vase. And I'm gonna kind of do something like that. And those are gonna be a little out of character to some of the other embellishments, but that's okay with me. Now let me find my, what did I do? Here's the palm tree, and I'm going to, like I said, palm trees were kind of a big part of life, and what I have in mind here, let me put another layer of foam there, because I want it lifted up high enough to scoot a let me have it kind of like that, to scoot this geotag under it, because that says to me, let's go where the palm trees are, and this is the where, the location, the preferred location. So I'm going to layer it under that, and right there, oh, come on, there we go. Okay, and I like this you and me, obviously. How about I layer it across there, but I may need to back it. I'm going to glue it onto here. Actually, I'll glue it onto the orange and yellow part, and then I'll fussy cut it later, after the glue has dried. And then, but you need to help me remember that that's my place for it. Okay, I'm going to do that off to the side and cover this up and see where we are. I've got these two tickets that I cut from an earlier Paige Evans collection, and I have this one that says on the bucket list, and I kind of like the idea of having it here, but it'll be hidden by that. Maybe here. And that kind of extends it out. And it'll be, when I layer that, you and me on the bucket list. We we kind of worked to travel. We traveled a lot for work, both of us, and when one of us traveled for work, the other usually could figure a way to join. And so we had lots of fun there. I want to take some kind of generic shapes that I can layer under some other things. I like these leaves. I like these flip-flops. And I'm going to go with Vicky Bouton watermelon. I may pull some of these flowers later, but not a Vicky Bouton watermelon, but a Vicky Bouton rainbow. So I'm going to take this rainbow is rather one of the large embellishments, and I think it looks better here. So I'm going to foam it up. And I don't really want to I should have the little trash can on my desk like I did during class. Do I want it down here, overlapping the photo? I like that, I think. And I can do this maybe right there. It's a citrusy color that's kind of in keeping with the whole summertime tropical happy vibe. And I'm gonna layer this heart there. It's just the right color. Okay, and do I want to, let's do the flip-flops right there. And I may have it overlapping the bucket list ticket here. Okay, and those blues, different style, different vibe, but they go nicely with this teal strip right there. I don't, things like that kind of make me happy. Okay, let's see. I want this. I just got these from Christina. I got two kits from her recently, just this past weekend, one based on Color Study and one based on Sunkissed. And these weren't available at the time she sent the kit. So she sent them later, and I just got these yesterday, and I love them. I don't know that I would have bought them had I been ordering, individual pieces myself, but seeing them, I just absolutely love them. The story is going to be on the back. I'm going to put a pocket, and I'm going to have a story that'll be more personal. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to attach the back of this to the to the piece of paper that has my, let me see if I can demonstrate that. I'm looking for a small, small enough piece of paper. This is smaller than my journaling block is going to be, but I'll attach it that way so that you can see that but it'll overlap onto here. I'll attach it with some foam so it has it can kind of hook on to the top there. And this can stick out of the album or the page protector and still clear the cover of the album. So I'll make sure that all of that sizing is correct. Okay, now I'm going to start pulling some bits to add to all along the column here. I want this yellow flower because it kind of stands in a bit for a I'm going to cut this in half, and I hate doing that, but it's all I want to use of it right here. And I'm going to take this side of it because I like the little piece of pie that has those black and white flowers. I'm going to put that there and let it kind of be a jumping off point for other elements around it. So right now, let me just kind of put that right there because as a placeholder. I may use that in a minute. I've got another one of those, which I didn't really need. I like this column of flowers because there's a purple one, yellow ones, and an orange one. So I'm thinking that I want to use it along here, but I'm going to cut it in half so that I can use the other half of it somewhere else. I guess I could use it here. Let's use this side of it. Oh, I guess we could use both, couldn't we? Yeah, why don't we do that? I like cutting things in half and using them on, on different pages because it kind of stretches that those colors and that design. But in this case, using them both on the same page, kind of, I like that. Kathy likes this. And I've got a yellow budgie here that I could layer over this rainbow. My budgie was lime green, but I didn't have one in lime green that was facing the right way. There's this lime green one here. The yellow one is facing the right way. And there's a little bit of lime green on his tail. So my budgie was named Frankie after Frankie Avalon. So you can imagine I was about in 7th grade when I got him. And he was a character. Someone at the radio station where my dad worked had given the bird to his son, and the son had outgrown having a pet, was off to school or somewhere. I've got this thing right here that says New Day, and I thought I might want to use it kind of paper clipped on, or there is how I would use it. And then that kind of opens up another opportunity for something round, something going with circles these days. And speaking of that, when I used a border punch to cut a border for the cover of the album we made this weekend in the color study class, I was left with these little circles, and I thought I might use those as embellishments and maybe even as a stage for some sequins. So we'll see how that works out. There is a, okay, let me see if I can use this somewhere, and I still haven't put this anywhere. I'm thinking I like it better maybe with only the one leaf. So I'm going to cut that leaf off, and don't worry, I'll use it, but just not here. Let me do, because I want to slide it under this leaf and kind of layer it that way, and then I can find something else to layer over kind of right there. Maybe the cat checking out the budgie. How's that? And I have to remember that I want to put that someplace. Okay, we'll put this kind of up here. And I'm not doing as nearly as good a job of layering my embellishments as Natalie did, and some of it I'm going to blame on the fact that I'm not using the same, you know, just my embellishments aren't themed. This isn't a, you know, fun in the sun vacation kind of page, although it's a nod to the travel we did in our life together. I want to put this, let me go back and see if this is ready to fussy cut. I'm going to leave a little bit of a border around it. Because I'm using scissors and not a craft knife, I'm not gonna get as detailed in the cuts, and it's kind of hard to do with scissors, so I may go back with a craft knife after all. We'll see. If there's an area I don't like, I can always say I'm not happy with this, but I can put a sequin there. So let me put this up on foam because I want to put the camera, and the camera's going to be around this area. Let's do that. I like this story, still haven't figured out where to put it. Maybe right here. Okay, and I've got this little leaf, which I could maybe do right in here. And, or, how about right there? It's a little less, I'll lift that up, and then I can put something, one of these small dots or a sequin on it. So let me do this. I want to use one of these gorgeous layered flowers, at least one. And I thought maybe I think it needs a little more foam. Needs to be up a little bit higher. Maybe right here, layered on top of the purple, but let's see, I've got this orange grid looks like it goes with that orange grid and this grid. So I've got these grids going on. So let me place this first. And then I can layer the flower kind of proportionately around it. Let's see. I'm going to get the grid going the same way. And it'll kind of look like a continuation of it. I can even line up that line. Let me get my there we go. See how that line continues right on over to there. Wish I could say I planned that, but you all are witness to the fact that I did not. Okay, now I've got this one, which kind of could go here, or kind of, and this is kind of where I pictured it actually, but I'm covering up too much of the, well, you know, if I scooch it under there, it doesn't cover up the ticket, and you can still see the flip-flops. So let's do that. I love this little, it's a purple gingham camera. Now, who'd have thunk? With, and of course the lens is a heart. Okay, there, and I need to remember that I need either a puffy sticker. How about a couple of puffy hearts? Let's see if we can do that. There's purple and orange. I'm gonna put the purple one that way, right there, and the orange one, maybe I'll, there. Okay. That worked perfectly because puffy stickers are so pliable. Okay, I need something here, and I think I may just go for could I use that there? Why not? I think I'll go for the green, and I want it to cover that little area. That actually will cover almost all that pretty ombre grid. There's enough of it showing right there. You really can't see it, can you? Except that tiny little bit. And that's pretty well hidden. So I need another one of these up here to repeat it. I think I'm going to go with the yellow. Well, I've got that yellow flower. I'm going to go with the pink and purple. Let me raise this up a bit so that I don't lose it all entirely. Let me do it like that. And then I'll go in with this. Let me lay the white up over that. Okay, there. Now, I'm going to get to some of the smaller things. In here, there was a well, let's see. I have this that I thought I might use. It's from a cut file, and I thought I might kind of use it, and it would have been good maybe to layer the title over, but I think I have no use for it, so I'm going to put it aside. Adventure is in my soul, I really like, and so I'm going to put it, I'm going to layer it kind of over here, and those colors just really work nicely. Actually, that pattern would have been pretty there. And he was the adventure in my soul, and I was the adventure in his. I think we both could have easily devolved into being workaholics who didn't necessarily appreciate the universe and all its splendor, but we were lucky enough to see a lot of the world. We didn't get nearly far enough on our bucket list. I like this little trio of hearts because it was just the three of us for most of our life together. He went away for a while, and then we all got back together when we moved into the kids' basement. I'm gonna it's a puffy sticker, so it kind of bridges different like gaps in the. Now I'm gonna get my tweezers and do some dots around. Just kind of and on some of them I will use them on, wouldn't that be good on foam? Let me cut a million little, I don't have foam dots. I don't buy them anymore, I buy the tape instead. So that means when I want little tiny bits, whoops, that's okay. I'm gonna kind of spread the glue out, and it's actually going to add to the look of the mixed media. And when it dries, it won't be sticky. Can you tell I've done that before? And I may cluster some sequins or some of these other little puffy elements. And in the sticker book, there are some little really beautiful holographic gold dots. So I think that goes there. It's gonna be fun doing all these. And I could just, I intended to use just the green grid side, but I'm just liking the variety in the other side so well that oh, here's a different one, and there too. And I'm kind of doing this in lieu of splatters, which Natalie used beautifully on her. She used white splatters on a black background, and this is more, these dots are more from my trash pile, which I used in a layout the other day. Okay, so there, and let me now pull sequins. I'm gonna do at least one avocado, and there's an avocado, a green, and let me get this lighter green. That's a clear green. So I'm just going to pull 3 from there and 3 from here, and hopefully I can keep them in. And I'm kind of going to let it be a I guess a kind of a red, which may end up looking muddy, but there's this big, beautiful blue one, and this is in Vicky's Rainbow mix. And then I've got this, the Penguin mix, which has these black, kind of shiny flat ones, sort of a pewter color gray, and this small black. So I know I have 3 sets of 3. Let me kind of just see how this seems to shape up. And I'm going to put a green down here. I thought I'd have 3 grouped around these 3 paper circles, 1 from each collection, or 6 rather. So that was the green. Let me put and then I'm going to leave 3. I've got a piece of packaging here. That would have been, I probably would have photographed it with that one. Okay, so I'll leave that green one out. So I'm going to do black now, kind of down in here. I'm going to do the avocados and stuff kind of up here, because that forms part of the story. And then I'll use this black. Actually, I picked up 2. I'll use the holographic one. Kind of right there. I know this is a long video, and I really appreciate your sticking around to watch it. Let me do that there, and I'm going to designate that one for there. I'm going to do this blue kind of right there, and that kind of looks nice with that. Okay, so then I've got these three, which I'll group right in there. The avocado being, in fact, I know we had guacamole. The story of our first date is, and I'm going to leave space to write there. We'd been working together on a project, John and I was his boss at the time, and we hadn't, the relationship had progressed to the point where there was a definite attraction, but we hadn't really gone out on a date, shall we say. So it got to be time to pick up James at the daycare center, so I said, oops, gotta go. I walked down to my office, and he walked to his, and when we walked out at the same time, and there's this kind of central staircase that everybody had to take to get out of the building. And I've got this came out. I'm allergic to putting things back in the packages. Anyway, so as we're walking to the parking lot, we're talking a little bit about the project, and when we got to our cars, just before he turned to go to his car, I decided to go ahead and do it, because I knew, since I was his boss, he was never going to ask me out, and he confirmed that later, that he would never have done that. So I said, do you have any plans for tonight? If not, welcome to take potluck at our place. I'll, have to fix something up for the kid. Would you like to join us? He said, sure. What time would you like me to be there? And that shocked me, for one. I'm going to put that guy there, and I'm going to put a purple one. So I got home. I picked up the kid from daycare, got home, and realized I had absolutely nothing to fix for potluck. So when he got there, I said, would you mind going out? We went to a Mexican restaurant that we both liked from having gone there on many lunches with the group at work. I don't know that I need, and then we've got 1, 2, 3. Let me just leave it at that. Those make just a little bit of dimension there, and I'm gonna use some of these different size dots around different places. And so we went to the restaurant. It was a Mexican restaurant owned by some fellows from India who just had really great twists on the traditional Mexican recipes. And we just loved it. And they were friendly and, stopped by and talked to us and made James feel at home. And John and I sat there talking for hours. We closed the place down. we told them, let us know when you need us to leave, and they kind of cleaned around us. And it was just, I kind of, you know, it was one of those things where you kind of know he's the one, but you wonder if he can get past your baggage. And, you know, so you start asking those questions. You do realize I have a kid, and I knew he was kind of, he was zero population growth kind of guy, but stepkid and possible adoption weren't entirely out of the question for him, as it turned out. And he was just a great stepdad, and James would be the first to tell you that. I just love this sticker sheet. There's so many little accents and things you can put in. And so that was the beginning of it all. And we were, when he asked me to marry him on July 10th, I wanted to get married on the 8th. We both wanted to get married on the 8th because we thought that was a special date. Do that there. I just love this. Ooh, here's a double hearts. Okay, that works for right there. And it seems like I need something kind of poking out of there. What do I have that would be just kind of cute? Let me check. I know I have a sticker book somewhere, and it had lots of really cute things in it, and I've lost my sticker book. Ooh, yes. Okay. I love this black and white flower, and I think I only need half of it. So I'll cut it off right there and let that kind of layered out from under there. Okay. Anything else I need to use from the sticker book? So anyway, it was you know, it was special. Okay. And speaking of special, there is a phrase sticker that says special day. And I'm going to put a tiny bit of foam behind it. And yes, this is my chaotic style in spades. Definitely something let's do that. Do I want to do that there, or see, if I don't want to put it just square straight on right there, and I don't want to put it here because I want to write something there. How about right here? There. Okay, that's good. And then there's one that says happiness. And the stickery part is not coming off there. We were talking this weekend about how some items in collections these days are a little different from a little different quality maybe, and this it's got like a backing on it so that this doesn't stick. So let me do this. Let me solve that problem. The sticker books have fewer pages in them than they used to. And they're a really nice variety of styles. Hopefully that will stick. And this works to go across there. Let me get this positioned on it. I'm hoping that that slick backing on there eventually gets held by the glue. Okay, I think I'm going to call this done. You've got the full story behind. You've got this story, and I will put the rest of the story on the back. Let me get this down. It doesn't seem to want to stick. I've got my 3 favorite collections represented on here, and I have flare buttons and Bramble Fox perspectives, all my favorite things, and my guy. So thank you for watching. Be sure and leave a comment on the to qualify for the prize drawing, and if I will ship physical items to U.S. Addresses. If you're international, I will do I'll do a gift certificate, so you won't miss out if I draw international winners. So thank you very much for your patronage, for your subscription, and your comments, and all the love I feel from all of you every day. I really enjoy doing this, and I feel like you're in the room with me. So thank you for that. Bye.